I'm Heather McDonald, and welcome to On the Town Auburn. And today we're at our own Auburn Municipal Airport, where we're going to interview the head of the Auburn Aviation Association, talk to some pilots, just have some fun out here at the Auburn Airport. Well, I'm here at the Auburn Aviation Association with the president, Wayne Minningham. Welcome to the show.
Well, I'm glad to be here. I'm an outgoing president. This is my last month as president.
But you were here 3 terms in the association, right?
I've done my turn 3 times now, so it's been a rewarding experience for me, and I'm not ruling it out as another go-around in the future.
Well, you know about our Auburn Airport here for sure, and you're also a pilot here.
I am a pilot, and I know a little bit about the airport.
And so I was reading where it started back, in 1934 it was built?
1934. It was built by the federal government, and it was primarily a airmail pilot, not necessarily a stop, but a place to land if they needed to, weather or malfunction or whatever, which was a common occurrence back in those days.
Yeah, and I imagine with all the mining here and all that, it was an important stop. Then how did it grow?
Well, after the war, a group of citizens got together and pooled their money, and in concert with the city, bought the property, and they have now about 285 acres, of which 80 acres is for the industrial and business park, which is on the property, which is an island, so to speak, from Auburn's main downtown area. So we are an island of possession for the city. And there's quite a bit of industrial work and companies out here, some of them fairly major, on the park or in the business park.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So it's something more than an airport.
Yes, it is. And it's a fun place to be. I love coming here and eating at Wings, and you can watch the planes come in and take off, and it's really a fun place for the public can come in here.
It's easy access for the public. That's one of the attractions. It's also a destination airport for pilots because of the really nice restaurant that we have here, Wings. So that's another attraction. Gives the pilot an excuse to use that airplane out for the $100 hamburger, so they say.
So they say. Yes, in fact, I was telling him that when we used to fly, it's like, okay, which airport has the best food? Because we're flying in there to eat. And Wings, of course, is fantastic. Now, other things are happening here, like, can you learn to fly here?
Well, yes, you can. We have 2 major flight schools, one right in our background here, Mach 5. Across the street is Sunshine Flyers. They're both training facilities, and they have a number of different types of aircraft that you can train in. Everything from tailwheel aircraft on up to twin engine. And they can take you from the basic student flying up through any commercial and instrument ticket that you may desire.
Cool.
The Auburn Aviation Association has a unique program where we sponsor a couple of students, youngsters under the age of 21, typically high schoolers that are interested in flying. We do an interview process, and out of that interview process we select a couple of recipients for our scholarship, which is typically a $2,500 to be applied here at the Auburn Airport through one of the flight schools. And we've had some people that have been through our initial program like that, that have gone on to fly for the Air Force, the military, instructors for colleges and what have you. And one of them out of North Dakota now is flying for their aerobatic team. So we've had tremendous success with these youngsters coming through our scholarship program.
So the association, how many members do you have right now, do you think?
Right now we have about 135 to maybe 145, and I should have checked that number, but it's an active organization. We have monthly meetings here at the Barnstormer Room at the airport on the first Wednesday of each month.
Okay. And do you have to be a pilot to be a part of
No,
it?
you do not.
Oh, okay.
No, we have quite a few people attend that we usually have a guest speaker. And so they come for, it's a buffet style dinner, a guest speaker, and the social aspect of it. So non-pilots are welcome.
Now, is the association a part of the air festival that happens here?
It used to be the festival sponsor. That was where our scholarship money originally came from, was the air show that we did here. But it became, we became a little long in tooth and burnout set in. We were doing this show every other year in concert, alternating with Nevada City.
Right.
And so now we are basically a donor.
But you're still a real part of it, and that's a wonderful way to get to know the airport, is to come to when they have the Air Fest. That's a lot of fun.
It is. And one of the things that we have been having is a Fly Friday thing, the third Friday of each month during the summer.
Yeah.
We had a little get together here at the airport in the afternoon, and we'd have a band come in, some people would set up their wares at tents and what have you like that. So it was kind of a afternoon air show.
Is that going to keep happening?
I think that's in the works for next year. Just during
in summertime,
during the summer.
On Fridays. This is the Friday night place to be then, for sure. And so also the airport does things like, can you fly out of here, say I need to hop over to San Francisco. Is that possible?
It is, but to be honest with you, it's limited. And but we do have the facilities where you can hire a pilot to fly you over there. Or if you're a pilot, check out an aircraft and fly it yourself.
Oh, really? You can check out an aircraft?
Here at the flight schools, they do have aircraft for rent. You have to be qualified in that aircraft, and if you're a first timer at this facility, even though you may have lots of time, they're going to fly with you at least once or twice.
Hello, this is Jeff and Ann Barbarick with Auburn Extreme Power Sports, and we're here to show you guys our new and latest product that we have here at the shop now, our Polaris Slingshots. And these came out about a year ago, and this is actually a three-wheeled machine that is classified as a motorcycle. And really cool because since it's a motorcycle, you can go in the diamond lane, and you actually just you don't actually have to have a motorcycle license to ride it, which is really cool. So you don't have to worry about that. But since it is classified as a motorcycle, you get away with a lot of stuff that you would with an automobile.
And it's fun to drive.
And it's really fun to drive. Yeah, especially she loves driving them.
Favorite?
I'm more a motorcycle guy, but she really likes these guys.
Yes.
But that's okay, because we have motorcycles here too, Victory motorcycles. But great machines. We've been in business here since, we're one of the older Polaris businesses. We've been around since 1996. We moved to this location in 2010. Had a brief, times were pretty tough, and I actually sold the business in 2007, and the people I sold to, I repurchased it from them in 2010, and we've been back in business since 2010, having a great time. We do everything Polaris, the Slingshots, their ATVs, their side-by-sides, which are Razors and Rangers, snowmobiles, and we really love snowmobiling, and this is a great area to snowmobile.
We are Auburn Extreme Power Sports, located here in Auburn, and we are run by riders for riders.
Well, now here we are, Wayne and I, at the Bud Anderson Memorial and Statue here. Tell us a little bit about Colonel Bud Anderson.
Well, Colonel Bud Anderson is a local boy from Newcastle, lives here in Auburn now. He was a World War II pilot flying P-51s in Europe, and he is known as a triple ace, which is he has more than 15 downs, I should say. But
Wow.
Bud is still around. He's very active in the aviation community even today.
Wow.
I think he's curtailed his flying a little bit, although I think he still could. He's a very cordial gentleman and really an airport enthusiast. In fact, he has lunch out here at Wings on a regular basis, so
Wow.
he's definitely a local guy.
One of the great pilots of history, right here, eating at Wings, I'll tell you.
It is. He flew, Chuck Yeager was his wingman, so that's what
How
I
about that?
understand. And Chuck Yeager lives up in Nevada City somewhere, so.
Yes, and he eats regularly at a friend of mine's Mexican restaurant because he loves Mexican food. So we have a lot of famous pilots here, but it's a place for pilots anyway, this airport and this area. Now tell us about the bricks I see in the ground here
Well, the
around.
bricks are originally, the statue was built by Douglas Van Hout over here at the Van Hout Studios. He's worldwide dispersion of his statues. Some are, or at least one is in the White House today. So he's very well known, and he created this statue, and along with it, the bricks that are around the base of it here are engraved with whatever you can do in 3 lines and X number of letters across, but they are $500 per brick. You don't have to be a pilot to have an engraved brick out here, and the money goes toward the Colonel Bud Anderson Scholarship Fund.
Wow.
So approximately $30 for laying in the ground with the cement, and also the rest of the $500 goes directly to a scholarship fund
That's
for the youth
wonderful.
trying to learn how to get into the aviation as a career.
Wow. And now, who would someone call to buy a brick?
Well, you can go online with auburnaviationassociation.org,
All right.
and there are instructions on how to obtain a brick.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And now, you said we could go over and see one of the aircraft here that's interesting.
Well, you were talking earlier about experimental aircraft, and now I see over my shoulder here that there is one out here, and I've talked to him. He said we're welcome to use it as a backdrop.
And here we have a pilot that came in from Lodi today. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Ken Cantrell.
And one of the reasons we were attracted to this plane, Wayne said it's one of the experimentals we were talking about, right?
It is, and a very nice example, by the way.
And so tell us, you built this yourself.
Yes, I did. In the late 90s, probably 98, I decided to build this. I was born into a flying family. My mother was a flight instructor. My dad flew in World War II, and he flew after the War II, and so I was our family activity. So I was around airplanes. I was an airport rat, basically, and I was around the airport all the time, and so it was aviation was naturally part of who I was and still am. And when I in my younger days, I flew up here at Auburn. I did an air show a couple of years in a row up here in the late 70s, and you know, and I flew the airplane at that time was another airplane different from this one my dad built. And then when I started my family, I got away from aviation. And then late 90s, I decided to get back into it. And so this is the airplane I built. And it took me about 4 years, almost 4 years. And you build it in separate pieces, the wings and the tail and the fuselage separately, so you can actually build it in a small place like a garage. And it's just one little step at a time. And the support group from, it's actually Vans Aircraft out of Oregon is excellent in helping builders you know, work their way through the project. And like I said, there's a lot of help out there if anybody's interested in home-built aircraft. There's a lot of other people that do it and a lot of people that can help you learn.
Well, that's really interesting to know that people can do that. Now, you said you're here to buy the Pitts. We're going to be looking at that. What's great about that plane? Why do you want it?
Well, the Pitts is actually it's the same design that my dad built. Curtis Pitts was a designer out of Florida that originally designed the pits in the mid 1940s, and back in the 60s and late 50s, 60s, it was the airplane to have for competition aerobatics and air show work. Since then, there's been a lot of other designs that have taken it way beyond that level and that are much more desirable for the real professionals.
Now here we are in front of the pits, Wayne. How old is a pits?
Well, they were built, designed by a fellow named Curtis Pitts back in Florida back in the late 40s. They have won a number of national championships in aerobatics over the years, and now there are a lot of them flying around. They are typically a home-built airplane. You buy the plans and you build from scratch.
Wow.
They are also available now as a production type aircraft. I mean, many years later from the original design. They've gone to 4 ailerons, the symmetrical airfoil, the 2-place pits where the original was a single place. So there's been evolution of this airplane, and it's still just as desirable as an aerobatic plane as it was back in its heyday. So
Cool, aerobatic plane.
Yeah.
How fun is that? I know I put my husband in one once, and they do all the loops and the smoke and all the fun stuff.
yeah, and they probably would have turned green if they had really unwound it. So because they can become quite violent when you start doing the hard maneuvers.
Oh, I bet.
But they're a challenge to fly. They're short coupled, and they're not for the inexperienced pilot, I would say.
So you can see great aircraft here. You can come and learn about historic aircraft. You can see so many things here. Wow, it's a pretty exciting place, the airport.
It is, and our airport is accessible. So if you are out here and you're having lunch, you can walk out here on the outdoor patio. Look around. If you see something nearby, just be really careful around turning props and moving aircraft, but keep your children in check and your dogs on a leash. It's a really accessible airport.
Okay.
And it's here in the middle of our industrial or business park. So as I mentioned earlier, we have quite a few commercial industries right here on the field, basically.
Okay, well, thanks for being with us today.
My pleasure.
We enjoyed very much the tour of the
Well,
airport.
My pleasure. It's a different way to spend Saturday, which I spend a lot of Saturdays out here. So as you can see, there's a little activity. The weather was a little iffy last night, so I think it turned a few people off, but usually Saturday is a very busy day here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, thanks again, and now we're going to go shoot some aircraft around the field here.
Well, thank you, Heather. I've enjoyed the interview.
Me too. Thanks,
Okay.
Wayne. Now here we are with the owner and pilot of a gyrocopter. And what's your name?
Doug Smith,
And where are you from?
Lincoln.
Now, isn't it unusual to have a gyrocopter?
They're becoming a lot more popular in the last couple of years. These designs are from Europe, and they've been a big thing in Europe for about 15 years, and they're just starting to come out more over here. There's a lot more of them over on the East Coast and down in Texas.
Now, you actually made this. How long did that take?
No, I didn't make this. I bought it from the guy who bought it from the guy who made it. These are really fast to build. You could build one of these in a week.
Really?
Yes, I was talking to a guy who went to Italy and built one 2 weeks ago, and he said he went in on the Monday looking at the boxes and they flew it on the Friday.
Now, a gyrocopter, what's the difference between a gyrocopter and, say, a helicopter?
So on the gyroplane, the rotor isn't powered. So the wind going through the rotor makes the rotor turn, and that generates lift.
And how high can they go?
We can legally get to about 13,000 feet. Then you need oxygen. Somebody's flown one of these to 20,000 feet.
Wow, it sounds like a lot of fun. There's a lot more gyro enthusiasts going on around here?
It's becoming more popular. We're seeing more and more people. So 3 years ago, there was one instructor. Now we've got 3 instructors in the area. there are 3 gyros based at Lincoln now.
At Lincoln Airport. And so why do you come up here to Auburn?
I actually ran into Mike at Sunshine Flyers on Wednesday, and he said they were having an open house day, so I said, fine, I'll come up.
Heather McDonald here, and I'm about to have some great Mexican food here at Maria's Mexican Tacos, right in front of the bowling alley on Bowman Road, right off I-80 here in Auburn. And here I am with the owner. Introduce yourself to everybody out there.
Hi, my name is Maria Moreno, and I own Maria's Mexican Tacos since 2001.
Wow, you've been here a while, and you have quite the fans out there, and I can see why, because look at this beautiful food, and this is just a little bit of what she serves here. Yes. Now, what are these called?
This is the sopes we made with the, any kind of meat you like, and get us the meat, a Mexican cheese, and veggies on top, and with avocado. This is the tacos we made. That's the soft. So we make soft and we make hard shells, either way. And this is the tostadas we made with any kind of meat. Like this is the nachos with any kind of meat you like, or they can be a vegetarians.
And now over there I see the chile relleno, my favorite.
This is the chile relleno, comes with tortillas on the side, or they can be with rice and beans. And the other ones, that's the hard shell tacos. And the other plates, that's enchiladas, it comes with rice and beans. The other plates is a burrito wet, and they can be any kind of meat.
It's beautifully done too.
Normally we have aguas frescas, we have beer, we have wine, we have sodas, Mexican sodas.
And look at the size of that nacho plate. Now look delicious. Now tell us some of the variety of meats you can get here. There's a lot of different kinds.
Okay, you can get like carne asada. We can get chicken or carnitas, que that's the more famous we sell, the carnitas. Chile verde, chile colorado, and plus tamales.
Yes.
They can be tamales with any kind of meat, chicken, beef, or pork, or they can be vegetarians.
Yes, I've watched her make the tamales by hand. Now, if you're used to authentic Mexican food, she also has tripa.
We have tripa, we have cabeza, we have lengua, and we have buche.
Uh-huh. They have a lot of the authentic dishes for sure. And your sauces look so beautiful too that you have here.
This is the green salsa for enchiladas, and then we would use it for enchiladas or wet burritos.
Yes, and you have the delicious salsas that you can come here too with the chips and everything.
Then we have chips and salsa, and they can be, the green is salsa spicy, and the red is salsa mayo.
And then you also have a patio too.
We have a beautiful patio, and we open for parties or anything.
Well, thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much for coming.
Yes, Maria's Mexican Tacos is more than just tacos, as you can see here off Bowman Road near I-80. Well, here in beautiful downtown Auburn, I'm taking you into Maryland's Fascinations to meet Marilyn and her staff. Here we are with Marilyn. Marilyn, thank you for inviting us into your store. Now, I want you to tell everybody out there what kind of fashions you have in here.
Well, we have, life's too short to wear ordinary fashions, I say.
There you go.
So we have fashions that aren't ordinary. They have to pop. When a customer comes in, they want to say, wow, I have to have that. Because women have lots of clothes in their wardrobe. They really don't need them, but they have to have more because we get bored with our clothes. We want something new
Right.
for the new season, so because clothes do get dated, so you have to update your wardrobe every season. So gold jewelry is in.
Yeah, I saw
Gold
that. I
jewelry's
love
very in,
this.
like I
My
have on
color.
gold jewelry. Fringe is in, lace
yeah.
is in, and I have to work with customers' body types. When I look at a customer, we want to make her look tall and thin, right?
Yes, thank you.
Right? So I dress
Well, they're
with her.
trying
She
to
looks
make her
much
taller, thinner. I do.
and much thinner, because see, we've layered a piece over. The way women look the best when they have mature figures, and that's most of my customers have mature figures. You wear something made black like I've done, and then put an overpiece, and it really takes 10 pounds off you.
That's right.
And so I try to put, and then tunics and leggings are the hot item.
Yeah.
Women love tunics and leggings. They are very complimentary and flattering. But if the lady doesn't have real small legs, then we put a wider leg pad on her.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah,
we all have
that's
to
great.
dress according to our figure and body type, and that's what I really take into consideration when I put a lady in the fitting room. Sometimes I see her take things in the fitting room. I think none of those are going to look good on her. So I quickly find the top pant, dress, or something that I know is going to work for her, and then she comes out smiling.
That's right. She really cares about her
Yeah.
customers. Do you hear this?
Yeah.
And so you have so much variety. And besides clothing, we'll say quickly, she also can accessorize you. They have some shoes, bags, jewelry, glasses, scarves. I got my beautiful silk scarf here at Maryland's.
Laurel Birch.
Yes, so thanks so much for being with us.
Oh, my
And
pleasure.
thanks for outfitting me.
My
I get a lot of
pleasure.
compliments since I've been shopping at Maryland's.
Thank you.